So many things we've had to say on how to make a better world. The time is now to make or break. We hold our future in our hands.
Life Journey series continues, guys, and I am in love with the decor of this place. My goodness, look at the artwork, and we are right back with James and Dorcas, our couple goal for the day. Yes, and so far we've been having a very enriching conversation about their relationship journey from dating to marriage and the things that they've learned along the way. And previously we've discussed about the best thing about being married, and right now we're gonna go on the flip side and talk about what's the most challenging thing in marriage from your experience.
That's 3 years. I think for me, I came to realize that that in marriage, the faces are different. So I don't think the challenge is constant. In different phases, there are different challenges. So, for instance, baby comes in, you have the transition of how now you're no longer just Jay, you're a father, and she's now a mother, no longer just a wife.
Yes.
And so you have to make that adjustment, and then of course it gets easier. You work around it, and then you realize. Sometimes in your marriage you have had to deal with grief, so that's a challenge,
Yes.
something you comes and finds you unprepared. You have to support each other,
Storms of
and
life.
walk with each other. So for me personally, I haven't seen anything constant, but we adjust depending on what we are facing, and that's what keeps us strong. That the tie is stronger, the bond is stronger, and then as you navigate it's like that game that you have, and there are mines all over, and so you navigate the challenges till you get to your destination.
Wow.
I would agree. And if I was to pick out one so far, in addition to the seasons that we talk about, I think the one constant one has been parenting. It's been a positive challenge. I don't know how to explain that. It's one thing that stretches you both on all ends, because you have to figure this new human who requires your attention 100%. Fully dependent on you at some point.
Indeed.
And then suddenly they have their own personality, and you have to raise them right, and still find time for each other, and still work. And so the moment there's an introduction of this new person into the equation, you really have to find a way to ensure everything still holds.
Yes.
And balances. So that has been quite a challenge.
Oh, fantastic. Wow. So the story about Bed of Roses is fairy tales, or is it not? Good one. Indeed.
So you can see it from a distance. Then you touch it, fix you.
But like in a nutshell, would you still say young people get married?
For sure.
Is it a good institution?
It is a good institution.
Yeah.
I would say the challenge or the issue would be that what we've been exposed to is that marriage has been too glamorized. Maybe that's what I would say. So you see a lot of soap operas, you see a lot of movies, you see a lot of, and it's what we don't realize, it's an action cut. So it's an action. They're hanging out, going out on dates, having movies. Going out on movies. Having very romantic scenes in a movie.
Scripted.
Everything is scripted. But the reality of marriage is the seasons. That it's the seasons, and it can be rough, but it can also be very beautiful.
Yes.
And coming to the realization of that then helps you approach marriage with a more practical mindset.
I see.
Hey, there are days I will look at my husband and think, who's this guy? Then there are days I'll be like, this is like the most amazing guy.
Wow.
Yeah. So just also knowing that you're like I said initially, you're two different people, two different worlds, two different backgrounds, two different worldviews coming in to try and merge this. Of course, it's going to be chaotic at
Yes.
some point before you actually find a sweet spot.
Yes.
And you're ever changing, even after you've settled down, you're ever changing. And having that mindset helps you to approach marriage with a more practical thought process.
Got you.
But I would also say that it requires putting in the work. So
Yes.
many of us imagine that marriage is a destination. So once we
Yes.
are married, we've arrived,
You're
we're
like, what
happy.
next?
Yeah, that's it. We've made it. Then you get in, you're like, hey, yeah, there was work. Yeah, what we don't realize is once we get in, we still need to put in the work
in
for
work.
the marriage to thrive.
I see.
And so many of us get in and feel cheated because first of all, we have a glamorized version of marriage,
Hollywood.
Yes.
the Hollywood, the Afro cinema, Nollywood, the Bollywood,
Yes.
All the woods.
all the woods. And then
Yes.
secondly,
Yes.
then we don't have the practical version of it. Yeah, so we feel cheated. But the reality of the matter is it has to be a bit more realistic than what
Yes. Yes.
I think when you get to that point that you not only have this person, you can't. You what do they say? Don't get someone you can just live with.
you can live with. Yeah.
But then if you have this person who you can't live without, then you realize
I'm that person.
you're that person for me.
Hey.
So just that this one I can hack life with. No, it's just like when this person is away. I remember I told her during our wedding day, I told her today we say goodbye to our goodbyes. When we meet for dates, and I have to tell
Wow.
her, okay,
I'll
see you later
Tomorrow.
See
Yes.
you tomorrow, or see you next week. I told her
Yes.
today we say goodbye to our
our
goodbyes,
goodbyes.
and for me
Oh.
it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's so beautiful. And you've kind of touched on the next part that I wanted to get into,
Yeah.
which is about like the pillars that build a successful marriage. You know, what are the building blocks towards a healthy marriage, a thriving marriage? Just from your experience, because it could be how you've ironed out things, how you've solved your issues, and maybe what you've gained from it. But what are these pillars that you've seen to be very useful?
All right, let me begin